Hello. Welcome to another video here on my channel. So, if this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe so that you don't miss any of the amazing things that happen here on this channel. And as I'm trying to grow my channel, so I really appreciate if you can just subscribe or if you can just leave a comment down so that I can also really see what is your feedback on my videos. So let's just continue where we left off last time. So in the previous video, we tried to use AGV for data validation. So for this video, we try to see how we can have different environment file, and then how we can also use those environment file to sell different configuration when we are launching our application. So far we created here in our app route, you have an environment mock, and then we, depending on the value of this flag, we can toggle between the resources mock or the real resources of the application that will go and fetch the data from Firestore. So now what we will do is that we'll go to our environment file, and then we try to duplicate this file. So I can rename it mock, and the value of this flag will always be true when we are using this environment where we are mocking here. So now with this copy, this change, we can also try to go in our project.json here, and not this one. Let's go to a project.json of the application. So here we already have a target build. We also have a target development. We also have a target production development. So now what we do here is to add a target for mock here. And we only use the file replacement. And for the file replacement, we used the file that we just created. And here we also add a new configuration that we call mock, and we'll use the development plus the mock configuration. So now with these changes that we just made, now we can, if we want to run our application using this configuration, we can just do npx nx serve crypto space configuration. And then you can just pass this configuration mock. And then that way it will allow to launch our application directly with the mock resources that we created. But we can go one step further. And have also a configuration within our application that can allow us to have Firestore, but locally. So far, our Firestore is within Google Cloud. But now what we can also try to have is also to have a configuration locally that can also allow us to save the data. And then that configuration can also help us to try our queries before launching application. So we say that the reason that we try to have a mock environment within our application is to be able to be fast when we are trying to doing the template, the HTML, the CSS of the application. But then at this when we also finish this stage of finish the state of the templates of the HTML, the CSS, then we go to the stage where we write the queries of the application, and before we can even try to test our application against the real data coming from the server, we can even try to test application against a local data. So what we can do is also to create another environment configuration. So we can duplicate this one. Again, we can create another environment configuration. And here we can just call it local firestore. Local firestore. And we can add another flag, local firestore, which will always set to be true. With this flag, now what we will do here inside our application here is to create another library, and that library we use it to populate our local file store. So let's generate this library. Yeah, I didn't give a name uh, to the library. Let's do it again. You have to set a name. And so how will I call my library that will serve, that will load my data to Firestore locally? So I can call it. So I will call the library Firestore local. Firestore local. Uh, let's generate the library. So our library is generated. So here within this library, we create a bunch of functions with the aim to load uh, data, and then that will populate a file store that will have locally. So let's write those functions here. I also have to create the data as well. To create a data that I will use to populate my file store. So I've made a few changes to this library that is generated. So here I'm importing the users that will be able to log in our local Firestore. And here also I'm loading the data to our Firestore. I'm loading the users. So this is just some utility function here that I wrote. So if you just go to the auth users, so here we are saying that this user he can log into the application as if he was logging to his Google account, and then we using also some claims here. So and then here this is what would be the data of user one within our Firestore, our local Firestore. So if you want to know a little bit more what the local Firestore is, I invite you to go to the documentation of Firestore, and then can really help you to know what is a local Firestore, how it can really help when developing an application. So now let's go back to our VS Code, and something I mean something also very important as well is I added the this environment this environment file here, and so that when we launch our project, it can connect to the local Firestore instead of going to the Google Cloud to search for the auth of the application. So this one is also very important. So the way I wrote this file is that so I call it .m.load Firestore mock. Well, I can just change this name. I will call it load Firestore local, just to have the same name as just to have the same name as the library. Uh, but how are we going to run this function? So to run this function, we can create an executor of Nx. If you have never wrote an executor before, let's just go to the documentation of Nx and see how we can write a simple executor. So we can just copy this command here. And then we'll tell, so we already have the plugins, the plugin library, the plugin directory. So here we just use plugins because our directory is plugins. We created this directory last time. And we can call our executor load Firestore local. And we call our executor that way as well. Yeah, we have to add npx before. So our executor is created. If we go to our executor, it's created here. And then here in our executor, the only thing here we want to do here is very simple. We just want to call our Firestore local, the function that we created in our library. Have to await it because it's an async function. So now we created our executor, and then to be able to run this executor, let's use a project JSON. Let's create a project JSON globally in our application to be able to have this executor, to be able to run this executor globally. So I created this. So we can create the project JSON globally to application. We can put this target. I mean, we can, if you want, we can put this target here in the project JSON of crypto space. But since this executor is something globally, it doesn't really belong to an application. So that's why I'm creating a new project JSON, and then I'm just using this executor here. And then as you can see, if you're using the extension of Nx, it just gives you directly the command that you can just run and to have this executor launch the task. So it's very handy and to have so no, it's load local Firestore, Firestore local. Yeah. But if we launch it now, we'll have an error because we don't have Firestore running. So yeah, that's what we expected. Because we don't have Firestore running yet. So we first need to have Firestore running before we can launch this executor. Let's get Firestore to run. we have an error which says that we don't have a file-based JSON file. So let's create this file-based JSON file as well. So it's at the root of the directory of the application. So we create a file-based JSON file, and then we just tell this file that we want to have a local auth on the port 9099, which means that this is the server that will be used to uh, to to fetch the authentication of the application. So authentication they will run against the server running on this port, and then our fast database it will be served on this port. And then after, if you have uh, some cloud functions, you can say that okay, you want to run the cloud functions here on this port. So we don't have cloud functions running, so we don't need this part. And then the UI is to say that you want to have a visual of what is happening on the port 4000. So now let's launch the command again. So now Firestore is running, and we can check on the port 4000. Now you see that Firestore is running, and by default, the authentication is empty. Firestore as well is empty, nothing is here. And then here we can just go and then I'll run the executor that we created. So let's run it. I think VS Code doesn't want to run it, so let's just type in this command that we have here. Sometimes it happens that VS Code the extension doesn't work well. I guess maybe when there are too many tasks running. So let's just write let's write this command here. So it's npx nx run. So we have an error. Okay, well, it's telling us that we have to initialize first uh, before writing to it. Okay, so let's go to our executor here. Just have to do initialize app. Project ID is fake project. If you run it again, yeah, now the command is successful. Now if you go to our first store, we can see that our data is populated. So we have our list of coins here. And now if you go to the authentication as well, the user is provided. And here we have a fake user that can authenticate within the application. So that's perfect. Now we can just here serve our application, our crypto space application. You can serve it npx nx serve using the configuration of Firestore local. Yeah, yeah, here is the hyphen instead. Okay, how did I write this? Okay, because I haven't created the target yet for this for local Firestore. Let me just create also another target here for the local Firestore. So by the way, how did I call this environment file. So it's Firestore local. Let me just call it by that name as well. That can be uniform across the whole application. So Firestore local, and now this configuration with npx serve. We still have an error. What is it saying? That the command is instead npx nx serve crypto space configuration Firestore local. So now if you run this command here, so now he's complaining about my replacement file. So I think let's have to swap here. Some application it will be launched against the local Firestore that we created. When I navigate to 4200, well, it's not working. Do you have some errors? Well, not. I guess the error is because we didn't provide in our environment. So let's go to our local environment. We didn't provide the project ID. So let's add the project ID fake project here, because that's what we need for the application now to work. So for some reason, application is still trying to connect to Firestore, to a real Firestore. Well, this is because of Firestore provider. So in our Firestore provider here, we are just telling the application to go to Firestore and to go to auth. And this one, they will always connect to the auth that is in the cloud and Firestore within the cloud. So we are not yet connecting our Angular application to the local emulator that we do have. So for that, let's just make a few changes here in this file. So I made a few changes here to application, to the Firestore provider. So I made a few changes so that we can connect our Firestore, the database, to the Firestore emulator. So on localhost 8080, and also the same thing for the auth. The same thing, we connect it using connect auth emulator on the port localhost 9099. So with these few changes now, if we go to application, so here we have this indication here that application is running with the emulator. Now we can just log in, and now here we can see we have a sign in with Google, and here we have our user one that we is the user here. This the user using this email user1fake.com, and so now if you just click on it, the user will log in with this credential. And now fake ID is the name that we gave to the coin here. So fake ID is the name of this coin. So we can see here that we have a whole application working, but now we have been able to run Firestore locally. And then it can really help to test the queries within the application against this local Firestore. So again, this one, it helps to be also be fast when writing an application, not only to be fast, but also to be able to test locally what we've developed before running it against the real data from past or that is within the cloud. So I hope you like this video. Again, let me know in the comment what you think about my videos, as I'm trying to grow my channel. So I'll be really delighted to have any of your comments. So just let me know in the comment what you think about my videos, and then if there are some topic that you'd like me to cover, as we are trying to improve on this application that helps to leverage Angular Nx, and also some pattern that we also talk about. So far, we talk about the adapter pattern, but with this pack pattern that I also try to popularize in my videos as well. So let me know in the comment what you think, and then if you like this video, don't hesitate to subscribe and also to hit the notification button. So until the next one for another video. Bye.